We speak about more partnerships between ISA and Ghana and also between India and Ghana. What kind of future do you envisage? And with this country partnership framework which you've just signed, what kind of immediate plans are you looking at?
Yeah, thank you very much. It's a partnership of growth. It's a partnership for mutual benefit, South-South cooperation. Already, we've made some very good progress with ISA, and I'm very, very happy as minister to be spearheading this on behalf of the government of Ghana. Today, we're going to have some very serious discussion on how we can immediately roll out some of these solar-backed pumps. One, for irrigation, two, but also for drinking water. So what we intend to do is that after pumping drinking water, the plant shouldn't idle. We also use it to pump water for irrigation. Ghana spends about 2 billion annually to import food items. In the dry season or the Harmattan season, which spans for about 6 months, the youth idle because of water. And we have a lot of water bodies in Ghana. So in collaboration with ISA and the Indian government, we want to roll out these pumps to make them, one, effective, to make them productive, and ensure that they work. And when they work, it brings about peace in Ghana. Because like we say in Ghana, the devil finds work for the idle hands. But more importantly, we find the India partnership very strategic because India brings efficiency. We're looking at a lot of cost saving with Indian technology. They bring the technology, but more importantly, they bring the speed because we are behind time and we need to accelerate the pace of deployment of renewables. And we find India very credible. And so far, with the money we've mobilized on our own, we can leverage what ISA and India brings together, and that will really take us very, very far.
If we speak about larger partnership between India and several other African countries now, not just cooperation in energy, but also in food security can be looked at, as you rightly pointed out. What kind of more cooperation are you looking at with India in energy, not just with respect to the solar imports, but also with respect to energy trade with India, between Africa and India, because Africa is a big exporter of non-renewable energy and is a big importer of renewable energy equipment from several countries, including India.
Yeah, certainly. If you look at India's trajectory, in the past 10 years, India has tripled its renewable energy capacity. Africa has the potential for about 60% of the world's renewable energy when it comes to solar, and yet we have just about 1%. So there's enough opportunity for us to work on. In Ghana, if you take our meters, you take our transformers, you take our cables, we now have Indian companies that have established in Ghana and producing transformers, companies that are producing meters. And so we are not just talking about imports and exports, but real deep cooperation that creates jobs, that adds value, and propels our productive capacity. And we find India companies and the Indian firms very, very credible. And so already we are doing a lot together. So we are taking it to another level. We are deepening the cooperation. We are ensuring that both countries will benefit. But this time, we are focusing on clean energy. We are focusing on sustainable energy, but more importantly, focusing on inclusive growth so that we can bring on the marginalized, the poor, and promote equity and gender balance. And so far, the advice and the collaboration we are having with ISA, I find it very, very satisfactory. One key area that I find very, very encouraging has to do with efficiency. Talking to ISA, we are collaborating with them so that we can bring the price of electricity down. The cost of electricity is just too high in Africa. But learning from the Indian experience, I'm very confident that if we can work in partnership with India, we can bring the cost of electricity down. When you bring the cost of electricity down, you become more productive. It means that you can deliver power at an affordable, efficient price to a lot more people. Ghana has about 90% access rate. The remaining ones are off-grid communities that are difficult to reach, and solar is the way to go. We can integrate solar and ensure that we attain universal access to electricity. And I find the partnership with ISA very, very productive, and I intend to pursue that to the maximum level.
My final question to you, if we speak about other sources of energy trade between India and Africa is growing, and being a resource-rich continent, what is the kind of scope which can be looked at in increasing the export of crude oil, natural gas from Africa to India, and also increasing collaboration in gasification technologies or transition technologies to ensure that not just Africa, but India also benefits in the entire bargain and the transition towards green energy?
Yes, I do know that India is a net exporter of oil. And I do know that Ghana is one of the top oil producing countries in Africa. Gas would continue to be with us for some time. I call gas transition fuel. And so we can have a bilateral agreement where we exchange commodity. We can give India crude oil or oil products, and in exchange, they can give us a lot of renewable energy. Because India has gone very, very far when it comes to renewable energy. Ghana has an ambitious target of achieving 10% renewable by 2030. That is very ambitious, and we must move at an accelerated pace. And we can only achieve that if we work with countries like India. So this presents us a very unique opportunity. And to make it even more effective, the Indian Prime Minister himself chose Ghana as a country to visit. It tells you the level of cooperation that we have. And my president has indicated that he wants to prioritize our collaboration and cooperation with India. So if the two heads of states find that very, very productive, then as minister, my job is cut for me. So clearly we're going to work together, we're going to collaborate with Indian companies, and I assure you that next year when we meet at this time, we'll be talking about some projects that we've executed with Indian companies. Thank you.
Hey, thank you for watching this on CNBC TV 18. Hope you liked it. For more such interesting news and updates, follow CNBC TV 18 on all the social media platforms.